Hi, it's Beezy, and last night was a wild night, and it nudged me to I was nudged and asked to start doing little shorts that are just small words, small phrase, small energetic encapsulations of steps, stepping stones into the light, stepping stones through something that's confusing, stepping stones from dark to light, different kind of things. And this was on a night that was sustained winds of 16 miles an hour with gusts of 25 anyways in the tent. And a dog now wrestling with me as it chews a stick. And I thought, sure, okay. I've got nothing else catching my attention right this now other than my tent's going to take off. And since it's an enclosed tent, it may lift 2 dogs and a cat and me up with it. So I agreed to do that, and I played with that and thought into that. And for right in that moment, it was, I could see different steps, not that I might all take as in you take 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, but that there are different steps, and as we dance in life, as we dance in unfolding, as we dance in huge waves of expansion for ourselves and then for the collective, and huge waves of unwinding and crashing down, that we can look around, we can tune into ourselves, and one of these steps, stepping stones, receptacles of light actually is what they showed for me were. And it made me remember, I laugh because, you know, the tent's going like this, hula hooping seriously, and the dogs are kind of nervous, and Rose is secured in her tent within the tent. And I'm talking to the elementals, asking wind to settle down a bit, or at least bring it over the trees. And as I look through this, so there's kind of shadowy light in the tent. This was probably, well, after they turned the bar back on, and that was a big commotion on the road. So probably about 1 o'clock in the morning. And so there was shadowy light in the tent and reflecting shadows on the outside, and lots of hula hooping going on. And I looked, I was towards one end of the tent, so I'm looking down the long end of the tent. And this image shimmered in my mind, which was a video coming to me, and a remembrance of when I went to some big workshop, couple-day workshop, which I think was in Las Vegas, which I hadn't been to in a long time. This was decades ago. And one of the things we were going to do was to walk on glass in this big kind of gathering room. And it was a cool group, it was a big group of people, cool group of people, and we'd gone through lots of transformation and a little bit of kind of guru baloney. But so we got to the point of walking on the glass, and it was a big long stretch, 3.5 feet or more, 4 feet long of glass, and several big canvas sacks. They brought it in, and at least 2.5 feet, maybe a little wider, so you couldn't step off. And all different colored glass, bottle glass, big honking shards, little shards, all sorts of sizes of shards. And some of the people were like, whoa, and I'm not stepping on that. So it was interesting. Just that was an awakening experience. Anyways, what came to me in the tent last night was what happened, what occurred when I looked at the glass, and it was my turn to decide to do it or not. Was this a stupid idea or not? Was this going to be helpful in breaking through limits or not? And I did it differently back then, but I tuned into my heart and wasn't as good a connection back then. And the path lit up for me. And bits of glass and some big shards even lit up, and just the as if you're in the woods like I am now and you see the light shimmering down on some of the fern fronds and stuff, and it lit different pieces of glass and they sparkled in the light, and I thought, well, there you go, there's my answer, that's the path. And so I took another deep breath and stayed in the heart and slowly stepped exactly where, even though some of them were honking big pieces of glass, where the forest sprinkling of light, that's what occurred to me, shone. And so last night in the tent, which seemed like a wind tunnel, this occurred. There was a dog bed on the floor, dog blanket on the floor, and a towel or different things, and there was a bag of stuff, and they just kind of shone. And in that message was this beautiful, kind of like that, that people may meet them and encounter the videos, the ones that I make, and it may be interesting or just right for them. Stop. And so it was that something I would agree to do. So I said yes. So we're nudged to do a few today. It's not quite as windy, and get some jet fuel burned off the doggies, and we'll see what wants to come to voice, to heart. And I'm looking for the magic stones in there for me too. So you'll see them around. You'll see some on YouTube. Most of them will be on livinglifeinhd.locals.com in both the member section and the supporter section. And maybe there's a stepping stone of light that is calling to you. I love you.